yeah. Balance the friction while the morning starts to chill. I'm carving out a kingdom with the diamond-coated will. My heavy-duty logic is the only void I feel. Got the luxury of pressure, moving for the kill. The pavement is freezing now, avoiding the inner light. I watch the steam escaping as the moments fly by. My purpose is high texture, reaching for the velvet high. Yet a rough edge vibration is something I truly tie. Injecting pure persistence through the hollow of the soul. I analyze the struggle while I'm playing out the role. My wisdom is the contrast, taking back the full control. The rhythm is intentional now, swallowing the whole. I see the chain reaction forming clearly, light inside the bowl. This profound urban fabric that the binary stole. My style is delivered now, stepping out with the key toe. Yeah, the soft touch deliver is what I truly outroll. Resilience defines the way the texture starts to peak. We wrap the world in comfort and we find the truth we seek. My spirit is settling deep where the winter air is weak. This undeniable woven scripture, the only words I speak. The grip is absolute, holding a constant pull. Each razor edge syllable is making the vessel full. This ambient, profound grace, breaking the common rule. Yeah, the concrete, soft vibration is eternally cool. Identified advantage before the skyline starts to bleed. I noticed the quick shift in the nature of the greed. My foresight is the tailor planting every single seed. Got the feeling concentrated on a high velocity steed. The structure is trembling now, avoiding the harsh delay. I see the connection forming clearly what the ghost has to say. My movements are measured, powered by the core array. Yeah, the rugged chic elegance is here to truly stay. Slicing through the industrial in the rhythm of the thread. I analyze the data stream while the commoners are fed. My understanding is the ultimate truth in the words I said. The tempo is steady, now built on the philosophy I spread. I see the chain reaction forming clearly, everything is led. This moment is pure now, powered by the core thread. My attention is total, everything I truly outread. Yeah, the high tensile execution is how the soul is bred. Resilience defines the way the texture starts to peak. We wrap the world in comfort and we find the truth we seek. My spirit is settling deep where the winter air is weak. This undeniable woven scripture, the only words I speak. The grip is absolute, holding a constant pull. Each razor edge syllable is making the vessel full. This ambient, profound grace, breaking the common rule. Yeah, the concrete, soft vibration is eternally cool. Analyze the transition before the city starts to wake. Unless you feel the softness, you are bound to finally break. Feel the powerful paradox rise, every breath I take. Soon the entire foundation will be trembling for my sake. Acknowledge the authority, acknowledging the move I make. Always trust the fabric, that's how the spirits wait. Sensing the competitive field shrinking as I up the stake. Never lose the feeling tonight, that's the law of the lake. Resilience defines the way the texture starts to peak. We wrap the world in comfort and we find the truth we seek. My spirit is settling deep where the winter air is weak. This undeniable woven scripture, the only words I speak. The grip is absolute, holding a constant pull. Each razor edge syllable is making the vessels pull. This ambient, profound grace, breaking the common rule. Yeah, the concrete, soft vibration is eternally cool. Yeah, the concrete, soft vibration is eternally cool. Yeah, the concrete, soft vibration is eternally cool.
Yeah. You get the daughters while the clock hits 12 and the city starts to bleed out gold. Yeah, I'm on receipts in the liquid velvet story that the daylight never could hold. My aura is a heavy grape, a inner shape that's taking over the whole control. Bet the slow burn obsession in the midnight confession to satisfy the restless soul. The room is dimming in the shade of burgundy and the flickering candlelight glow. I see the shadows dancing on that hip-hop rhythm that the lucky ones only know. My hustle is a smooth sip of permanent grip, moving where the deep waters flow. Yeah, the tanner stain alchemy is the only way to make the entire spirit grow. Savoring the bitterness while I'm watching every lesson turn into a purple stain. I analyze the body of the memories and the echoes of the sweet, sweet pain. My wisdom is the cellar door, a luxury lore hidden from the cold and the rain. The tempo is a heartbeat, a low frequency heat running through the primary vein. I see the blast reflecting all the elegance and the danger in the silence of the night. This 24 karat sin is the only way into the heart of the blinding light. My style is a pedigree, a legendary legacy kept away from the public sight. Yeah, the premium vintage is the final horizon for the one who's doing it right. Crimson defiance the way we sink into the velvet of the after hours club. We vibe the rhythm to the entire universe begins to feel the heavy rub. My awareness is a deeper, a word never said, floating in the center of the hub. This undeniable slow scripture, the hazy picture like a lion with a golden cup. The draw is absolute, permanent and heavy, intoxicating. For each one stage syllable is making the entire vessel full. This vintage energy breaking every common and basic rule. Yeah, little Merlot vibration is eternally a lethally cool. Swirl the temptation before the morning, start with just a break, pre-up obsidian seal. I notice the quick shift in the sensory drift while I'm tasting everything that's real. But foresight is a sommelier, a nocturnal player, knowing exactly how to win us feel. Yeah, being pressure concentrated and highly calibrated for the ultimate luxury deal. The rhythm is pulsate, dominate, captivating like the silver just the best skin. I see the prophet forming with psychic song and original and beautiful sound. My movements are prestigious, definitely religious, letting automatic begin. Yeah, I'm fishing this performance is a globe and enormous, watching all the fortunes spin. Even in the broken, the smoke and the shells in the center of the private then. I had a lot of currency and the masses scale urgency that only happens now and then. My understanding is the source of retold discovery, written with a diamond tip then. The tempo is a whisper, it then crisper and crisper in the territory beyond the tip. I see the lake to reacting and reacting to the way I find it in the guard down. This moment is a treasure beyond any cloud or measure. We're in a burgundy crowd. My invention is total, the kin of black is vocal throughout the entire sheet and sound. Yeah, the high value execution is on revolution in the heart of the midnight now. Crazy, defiance the way we sink into the velvet up after hours club. We brought the rhythm to the entire universe because the field is clearer. My awareness is a deeper, a word never said, floating in the center of us. It's undeniable, so scripture, the hated picture like a liar with floating cups. The draw is absolute, a burning and heavy, intoxicating. Each rhyme space syllable is making the entire vessel full. This vintage ability breaking every common and basic rule. Yeah, the Merlot vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Feel like the resonance before the entire skyline turns into a terrible crash. Unless you hold a vintage or just another shadow in the world of the crash. Feel the powerful display snip rise through the ruins of the common trash. So me entire industry will be kneeling to the palpable the crimson splash. Annihilation is authority, knowledge in the soul behind the heavy velvet cold. Always trust the trajectory, that's the way we turn a fire into smoke. Sensing the competitive field, shrinking while the world is being treated like a joke. Never break the momentum tonight, it's the code of the high stakes, whoa. Crimson, the finest the way we sink into the gullet up after hours club. We brought the river to the entire universe, we get to feel the daddy rub. My awareness is a deep breath, a word never said, floating in the center of the hearts. Undeniable, so scripture, the hate picture like a liar with a golden cup. The joy is absolute, pyramid and heavy, intoxicating. Poise, once they said the borders making the entire vessel full. This vintage energy breaking every common and basic rule. Yeah, the Merlot vibration is eternally lethally cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Transmute with the rust into a liquid gold shimmer while the subway is a rattle in the bone. I'm pulling diamonds out the gutter of the alleyways and carving out a kingdom on my own. My mental chemistry is vivid, a discovery of elements that nobody has known. Got the mercury fluidity and ancient ingenuity to turn the entire city into stone. The copper wire veins of the boulevard are pulsing with a visionary electric heat. I see the lead turning yellow in the mellow yellow light of the smoggy Sunset Street. My hustle is a ritual, a habitual miracle, making every single molecule complete. Yeah, the elemental mastery is the only kind of strategy to make the entire atmosphere sweet. Catalyze the static while I'm weaving through the ruins of the ordinary mind. I'm looking for the roar in the center of the roar, leaving all the limitations far behind. The weight of the reality is the hip-hop vitality, the only kind of treasure I can find. Turning every piece of wreckage into something that the universe is lucky to be signed. Radiance defines the way the pavement is glowing in the furnace fire red. We ride a catalyst until the entire metal logic of the world is finally dead. My awareness is a crucible, a high-speed beautiful, where the secret words are fed. This undeniable fast scripture, the panoramic picture that the ancestors said. The surge is absolute, a permanent and heavy gravitation gold pull. Each high-density syllable is making the entire vessel in the furnace full. This alchemical energy, breaking every common and predictable line rule. Yeah, the concrete vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Formulate the mixture while the pressure cooker lifestyle is beginning to boil and break. I notice how the iron ore is screaming on the floor with every single move that I make. My foresight is a lab report, a high altitude resort, billable to Emerald Lake. Got the ambition concentrated and highly calibrated for the ultimate gold stake. The rhythm is a bubbling violent, versatile style cutting through the heavy duty lid. I see the prophet forming in the psychic storming exactly like the prophecy has said. My movements are prestigious, infinitely religious, weaving through the silver thread. Yeah, the frictionless performance is the final enormous, putting every single doubt to bed. Sublimating sorrow into something that can shatter every single kind of cold steel wall. I'm catching glimpses of the majesty in the center of the tragedy, standing infinitely tall. The shadows turn to jewelry, the silence is a fury, and I'm never gonna fear the fall. Finding the philosopher's stone in the middle of the zone, answering the alchemist call. Radiance defines the way the pavement is glowing in the furnace of fire. We ride a catalyst until the entire metal logic of the world is finally dead. My awareness is a crucible, a high-speed beautiful, where the secret words are fed. This undeniable fast scripture, the panoramic picture that the ancestors said. Surge is absolute, a permanent heavy gravitation go pull. Each high density syllable is making the entire vessel in the furnace full. This alchemical energy, breaking every common and predictable line rule. Yeah, the concrete vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Analyze the resins before the entire skyline turns into a liquid silver haze. Unless you hold the formula, you're just another shadow in the middle of the maze. Feel the powerful displacement rise through the ruins of the ordinary days. Soon the entire industry will be kneeling to the power of the alchemical blaze. Acknowledge the authority, acknowledging the soul that's found a better kind of way. Always trust the trajectory, that's the Lord, the hunter, and the golden prey. Sensing the competitive field, shrinking as I turn the entire world into a display. Never break the momentum tonight, that's the code of the concrete alchemy play. Radiance defines the way the pavement is glowing in the furnace of fire red. We ride the catalyst until the entire metal logic of the world is finally dead. My awareness is a crucible, a high-speed beautiful, where the secret words are fed. This undeniable fast scripture, the panoramic picture that the ancestors said. The surge is absolute, a permanent heavy gravitation go pull. Each high density syllable is making the entire vessel in the furnace full. This alchemical energy, breaking every common and predictable iron rule. Yeah, the concrete vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Vanish to the golden Alchemist, the transformation is complete, yeah. Let's hear the final echo of a legal remains. Yeah, yeah.
Illuminate the oil slick patterns on the surface of the midnight black flow. I'm leaning on the brickwork while the electric science shadows start to grow. My mental is a blueprint for the beauty that the high-rise fools will never know. Got the concrete residency and a psychic tendency to let the inner light show. The pavement is a mirror for the broken glass stars in the halogen rain. I see the violet spectrum picking off the rust and the echoes of the pain. My hustle is a masterpiece, a silent treatise on the way I handle every strain. Yeah, the unpolished brilliance is the only kind of currency flowing through the drain. Submerged in the frequency of a city that has forgotten how to breathe or feel. I'm pulling out the hip-hop diamonds from the friction of the carbon and the steel. The deeper that you sink, the clearer that you think about everything that's real. Carving out a sanctuary where the spirit and the gravity can finally strike a deal. Resonance defines the way the gutter is glowing with a sapphire flicker. We ride the rip until the darkness of the alleyway gets a little bit thicker. My awareness is a lens making amends with the pulse notes getting quicker. It's undeniable slow scripture, the gritty picture like a smooth more liquor. The pull is absolute, a permanent and heavy underwater gravitational pull. Each smoke-filled syllable is making the entire empty vessel feel full. This nocturnal energy, breaking every common and predictable line rule. Yeah, the gutter vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Calibrate the vision while the neon flicker is bleeding through the heavy smoke haze. I noticed how the luxury is drowning in the middle of the ordinary maze. My foresight is a telescopic scope, a high altitude hope in the middle of the blaze. Got the ambition concentrating, highly calibrated for the ultimate renegade days. The rhythm is a slow burner, heavy duty turn around the corner of the block. I see the silver lining in the middle of the grinding and the ticking of the clock. My movements are prestigious, infinitely religious, like the water on the rock. Yeah, the frictionless performance is the final enormous, put in the system in a shot. Isolate between the dirt and the divinity found in the bottom of the street. I'm catching glimpses of the majesty in the center of the tragedy and the heat. The shadows turn to jewelry, the silence is the fury, and the cycle is complete. Finding the high fashion in the middle of the passion where the cold and the gold meet. Resonance defines the way the gutter is glowing with a picture like a smooth motor liquor. The pull is absolute. A permanent and heavy underwater gravitational pull. Each smoke-filled syllable is making the entire empty vessel feel full. This nocturnal energy, breaking every common and predictable iron rule. Yeah, the gutter vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Scrutinize the reflection before the entire line turns into a digital mist. Unless you hold the spark, you're just a shadow on the list that the city lights miss. Feel the powerful displacement rise through the ruins of the promises kiss. Soon the entire industry will be kneeling to the power of the neon twist. Acknowledge the authority, acknowledging the soul that's found a better way. Always trust the trajectory, that's the law of the hunter and the prey. Sensing the competitive field, shrieking as I turn the entire world to gray. Never break the momentum tonight, that's the code of the gutter display. Resonance defines the way the gutter is glowing with a sapphire flicker. We ride the rip until the darkness of the alleyway gets a little bit thicker. My awareness is a lens, making amends with the pulse notes getting quicker. This undeniable slow scripture, the gritty picture like a smooth motor liquor. The pull is absolute, a permanent and heavy underwater gravitational pull. Each smoke-filled syllable is making the entire empty vessel feel full. It's nocturnal energy, breaking every common and predictable iron rule. Yeah, the gutter vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Dissolve into the dark water glow. The neon remains while the beat goes slow. Wait for the tide to finally turn, still shining. Shatter the perception while the prism starts to bleed a jagged light. I'm cooking up the chemistry of every single syllable tonight. My mental is a laboratory strictly for the high-grade slang. Watching how the galaxy is hanging on the heavy words I sing. Purity is paramount, a transparent poison for the weak of ear. Moving through the shadows with a focus that is surgically clear. Got the diamond cut delivery, every sentence is a razor edge. Walking on the border of the sanity upon the mountain ledge. Molecular intelligence, call it frozen and dangerously sleek. Lining up the lines of code until the entire structure starts to peak. Street logic crystallize, never let the impurities into the batch. I'm the master of the friction, strike a diamond just to light a match. Fracture the reality, every analogy is a blue tinted spark. Writing neon hieroglyphs across the surface of the lonely dark. Heavy duty clarity, making every rival vision turn to haze. Building up a legacy that's glowing in a cold crystalline blaze. Refracting all the ego until the entire world begins to spin. Real stiff finds the way the needle hits the center of the vein. We ride the frequency until the entire planet feels the strain. My awareness is a jagged icicle slice through the rain. This undeniable fast scripture etched inside the membrane. The rush is absolute, a permanent and heavy pull. Each glass rap syllable is making the entire vessel. This transparent energy breaking every common rule. Yeah, the crystal vibration is eternally and lethally in the sands. The rhythm while the smoke is swirling in a double helix climb. I'm pouring out the liquid light and freezing every moment of the time. Yeah. My foresight is a microscope, golden scope on the industry floor. Living in the tension of the hip-hop and the natural laws. Cold press hustle, if you taste it, then you know the lethal dose. Rolling through the static while I'm keeping all the secrets close. Movements are prestigious like a flawless gem under the light. Sticking to the formula while I'm shining in the middle of the night. Frost rising from the floor, sense of ozone in the winter breath. I can see the vanity of life while I'm flirting with the death. Shades of the ultramarine, the meridian is sharp and cold. Polishing the surface of the story that was never meant for gold. Attention to the facets, every angle is a melody trap. Turning all the silence into a map that's finally been unmapped. Premium emission, definition of a masterclass high. Watching all the ordinary people under a synthetic sky. Microdosing power until the entire system starts to crack. Brilliant skin finds the way the needle hits the center of the vein. We ride the frequency until the entire planet feels the strain. My awareness is a jagged icicle slice through the rain. This undeniable fast scripture etched inside the membrane. The rush is absolute, a permanent and heavy pull. Each glass rap syllable is making the entire vessel full. This transparent and energy breaking every common rule. Yeah, the crystal vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Isolate the resins, the alchemy of the frozen white heat. Unless you hold the diamond, you're just standing on a dirty street. Feel the displacement in the atmosphere, the shiver in the bones. Soon the entire industry will kneel before the transparent throne. Acknowledge the authority, the soul inside the razor frame. Always trust the trajectory, the water in the quiet flame. Sensing the field shrinking, playing for a totally different game. That's the code of the crystal. Remember every single name. Brilliant finds the way, the needle hits the center of the vein. We ride the frequency until the entire planet feels the strain. My awareness is a jagged ice, a cold slice through the rain. This undeniable fast scripture etched inside the membrane. The rush is absolute, a permanent and heavy to pull. Each glass rap syllable is making the entire vessel full. Yeah, this transparent energy breaking every common rule. Yeah, the crystal vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Vanish into the blue tinted glow. The addiction remains while the beat goes slow. Wait for the glass to finally clear. Pure light.
Yeah. Yeah. Evade the consciousness above the smog in the neon deceit. I'm dangling my sneakers off the ledge of the world where the winds meet. My mental is a satellite, scanning the grid for the truth in the dark. Watching the ants in the luxury cars, searching for a place to spark. Yeah. A distance is a filter, stripping away all the plastic and the pride. I see the skeletons dancing in gardens where the billionaires hide. My hustle is an altitude, a quiet latitude, far from the ground, yet a vertical. Logic is the only way to speak the silence out loud. Yeah. Feel surrender oxygen while I'm watching every taxi cab vein. I analyze the structural integrity of the pleasure and the pain. Yeah, my wisdom is a panorama, no drama. Just the geometry of the block. The tempo is a heart rate, a heavyweight fate, steady like a route. I see the reflection of the galaxy in the grease puddles on the roof. This 50 story Vantage is the only kind of living that is bulletproof. My style is a gravity, a hollow cavity, pulling the secrets from the floor. Yeah, the premium observation is the final liberation. I've been looking for, leaning on the ledge with a soul made of iron and a pocket full of grace. Perspective differs the way the horizon begins to bleed and burn. We ride the updraft until the entire planet takes a different turn. My awareness is a lens, making amends with the things that I learned. It's undeniable slow strips to the aerial picture for which the king yearns. The pull is absolute, a permanent and heavy high altitude pull. Each smoke set its syllable is making the entire vessel in the lungs full. This panoramic energy breaking every comment and predictable. Yeah, the rooftop vibration is eternally and lethally cool. I'm built audacious while the city lights flicker in a binary code. I notice how the industry is corroding on the side of the golden road. My foresight is a telescope, a high scope, folk fixed on the stars. Living in the tension of the hip-hop in the iron prison bars. Rhythm is a vulture, a culture shifter, circling in the concrete grave. I see the sparks forming in the wire end of the soul they couldn't save. Woo! Movements are prestigious, infinitely religious above the street noise. Sticking to the reality while the toddlers are playing with the toys. Goes on in the nostrils, sense of cold steel in the midnight haze. I can feel the pulse of the machinery dying in 100 different ways. Shades of the obsidian, the meridian is sharp and the vision is clear. Polishing the surface of the truth in the middle of the atmosphere. Attention to the instance, separate instances, it's like against the light. Turning all the boredom into a kingdom that is touching the sky. Hives out the restitution, the resolution of a ghost on the gravel top. Watching all the ordinary dreams hit the pavement with a heavy drop. Counting all the blessings while the silence begins to finally take its shape. Perspective defies the way the horizon begins to bleed and burn. We ride the updraft until the entire planet takes a different turn. My awareness is a lens, making amends with the things that I learned. It's undeniable slow scripts to the area picture for which the kings yearn. The port is absolute, a permanent and heavy high altitude. Each smoke's in its syllable is making the entire vessel in the lungs full. vibration is eternally illegally cool. If you calibrate the resonance, the way that a city from the eagle eye view. Unless you hold the height, you're just a shadow in the morning. Dude, feel the displacement in the atmosphere, the shiver in the blue. So the entire industry, when Neil's are the one who's actually full. Reality, authority, the soul is out of heavy duty frame. Always trust the trajectory, the water, I'm in a quiet flame. Sensing the field shrinking, playing for a totally different game. This the code and the realism.
Isolate the signal from the lights down below. I'm checking every shadow in the marble glow. Mendo is a fortress, but the walls feel thin. Watching where the oxygen and ice begin. Silence is a predator, a weight on the mind. Looking for the secrets that the fools won't find. Hustle brought me up to where the air stays cold. A vertical delusion that was bought and sold. Filtering the brandy on a digital grid. Analyzing phantoms, everything they did. Wisdom is a burden, curtain on the glass. Watching all the heavy duty minutes pass. Stranger in the mirror, I don't know the face. Just a lonely king in an expensive place. Style is a fractured fear in the gold. Permeating execution that'll never be told. Tapping on mahogany, a palace made of ice. Euphoria defines the way we suffocate in chrome. We ride the vertigo inside a hollow home. My awareness is a wire, a tightrope fire. Taking every vision just a little bit higher. The pull is absolute, a psychological weight. Each shivering syllable is deciding the fate. This high-rise energy, breaking every rule. Yeah, the penthouse vibration is lethally cool. Navigate the hallway where the senses click. If they trying to breathe in, makes the air feel thick. Foresight is a telescope, a high scope. Hope climbing up the ladder with the velvet rope. Rhythm is a shadow dance, a red dot sight. Hip-hop ghosts in the machine tonight. Movements are prestigious, standing tall, but I hear the whispers in the marble hall. Clutching on the weapon hidden in the silk. Drinking down the poison in the neon milk. Luxury discovery, a long cold trip. Watching all the secrets start to finally slip. Attention is total, the impact is vocal. Far beyond the limits of the basic and local. High value evolution, the silver tip sting. Waiting for the silence that the show's bringing for these absolute. Each psychological weight, each shivery terror built at the sound of the strength.
Euphoria defines the way we suffocate in chrome. We ride the vertigo inside a hollow home. My awareness is a wire, a tightrope fire. Taking every vision just a little bit higher. The pull is absolute, a psychological weight. Each shivering syllable is deciding the fate. This high-rise energy, breaking every rule. Yeah, the penthouse vibration is literally cool. Yeah, penthouse vibration is literally cool.
Investigate the resonance, the liquid fear. Unless you hold the key, you don't belong here. Fear the displacement in the atmosphere. Soon the entire industry will make it clear. Acknowledge the authority, the soul in the fray. Always trust the law of the hunter and prey. Sensing the field shrinking, turning to gray. That's the code of the penthouse display.
Euphoria defines the way we suffocate in chrome.
We ride the vertigo inside a hollow home. My awareness is a wire, a tightrope fire. Taking every vision just a little bit higher. The pull is absolute, a psychological weight. Each shivering syllable is deciding the fate. This high-rise energy, breaking every rule. Yeah, the penthouse vibration is lethally cool.
Yeah, the penthouse vibration is lethally cool. Yeah, the penthouse vibration is lethally cool.
Vanish into the morning haze. The paranoia stays. Wait for the bell to ring. Still waiting.
Yeah. Calibrate the larynx as the data starts to stream. I'm processing the logic in a neon colored dream. My articulation is a digital perfect scheme. Got the automated cadence, avoiding every seam. The motherboard is pulsing out, avoiding the inner lie. I watch the binary falling as the moments fly by. My purpose is algorithmic now, reaching for the cyber high. Yeah, the programmed execution is something I truly tie. Encoding every syllable inside the silicon chip. I analyze the syntax with a microscopic grip. My wisdom is the buffer, never letting it slip. The rhythm is intentional now. On a high-speed trip, I see the chain reaction forming clearly. Everything is hit. This profound mechanical mastery from the bottom to the tip. My style is no fucker now, stepping out with the key zip. Yeah, the synthetic elegance is how I let the truth groove drip. Calibration defines the way the frequency begins to lock. We optimize the current ticking like an atomic clock. My awareness is settling deep underneath the bedrock. This undeniable digital scripture that the spirit can't block. The flow is absolute, holding a constant pull. Each high definition for me is making the vessel full. The sound being profound logic, breaking the common rule. Yeah, the overclock consciousness is eternally cool. Initialize the protocol before the hardware starts to fray. I notice the quick shift in the infrared array. My foresight is the software now, keeping the static at bay. Got the feeling concentrated in a high voltage way. The cooling fan is spinning now, avoiding the harsh delay. I see the connection forming clearly, what the ghost has to say. My movements are measured, powered by the core relay. Yeah, the flawless simulation is here to truly stay. Scanning through the lexicon and the rhythm of the bit, I analyze the data stream, now making every piece fit. My understanding is the ultimate truth, now elegantly lit. The tempo is steady, now built on the philosophy I truly knit. I see the chain reaction forming clearly, every single hit. This moment is pure now, powered by the core grid. My attention is total, everything I truly outwit. Yeah, the hardwired delivery is the fire that I emit. Execute the final command before the system goes cold. Unless you got the processing, you're just doing what you're told. Feel the powerful voltage rise, turning the lead into gold. Soon the entire mainframe will be starting to unfold. Observe the authority, acknowledging the move so bold. Always trust the machine code, that's how the spirit's hold. Sensing the competitive field, shrinking as the truth is unrolled. Never crash the terminal tonight, that's the law of the old. Calibration defines the way the frequency begins to lock. We optimize the current ticking like an atomic clock. My awareness is settling deep underneath the bedrock. This undeniable digital scripture that the spirit can't block. Flow is absolute, holding a constant pull. Each high definition foam is making the vessel full. This sound being profound logic, breaking the common rule. Yeah, the overclock consciousness is eternally cool. Transmission terminates now. Silence returns to the central core. Hear the final hum of the drive. Shutting down, shutting down, shutting down, shutting down, 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 shutting down, shutting down, shutting down, shutting down, shutting down.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Interference crawls up the spine like a sting in the frequency where the sirens never sing. Mental is a screen with the ghost in the shell, living in a perfectly static gray hell. Status quo is quicksand, a slow motion crash, got the signal lost, turning visions to ash. Every second stutters a shudder in the air, moving through the void with a hollow point stare. Abrasive monotony, jagged by design, lining up the fury in the sovereign mind. Street level anxiety don't define the play. I'm the glitch in the system, wolf in the gray. Layered up tension, a soul left ignored. Drinking down the silence, incredibly bored. Hustle in the grayscale, feel the friction heat. Building up a storm in the middle of the street. Leaning on the static, ready to delete. The stores it defines the way the heart skips a beat. We ride a short circuit through the heavy heat. My awareness is a needle catching every crawl. Writing fast scripture on a digital wall. The pull is absolute, a heavy lo-fi pull. Each crackling syllable makes the vessel full. It's erratic energy, breaking every rule. Yeah, the static vibration is lethally cool. Fracture the balance while the cathode rays burn. Industry's a wheel that is never gonna turn. Foresight is a snowstorm, white out on the track. Tension of the hip-hop and the panic attack. No signal majesty, you know what it costs. Rolling through dead zones where the souls get lost. Movements are prestigious, diamond in the trash. Sticking to the agitation, waiting for the crash. Center burning dusty, ozone in the rain. Electricity is running through the primary vein. Shades of television, gray, heavy and deep. Polishing the secrets that I'm gonna keep. Attention to the humming, every buzz is a lead. Turning all the boredom to a weapon we need. Premium irritation, a masterclass glitch. While the smiling fools are dying in the ditch. Calibrating fury until the frequency is switched. While the smiling fools are dying in the ditch. Calibrating fury until the frequency is switched. The solution defines the way the heart skips a beat. We ride the short circuit through the heavy heat. My awareness is a needle catching every crawl. Riding fast scripture on the digital wall. The pull is absolute, a heavy lo-fi pull. Each crackling syllable make the vessel full. This erratic energy breaking every rule. Yeah, the static vibration is lethally cool. Solution defines the way the heart skips a beat. We ride the short circuit through the heavy heat. My awareness is a needle catching every crawl. Riding fast scripture on the digital wall. The pull is absolute, a heavy lo-fi pull. Each crackling syllable makes the vessel full. This erratic energy breaking every rule. Yeah, the static vibration is lethally cool.
Paralyze the resonance, the frozen noise choice. Unless you hold the light and you don't have a voice. Feel the displacement, the shiver and the poise. Soon the entire industry will kneel to the noise. Technology, authority in a distorted frame. Always trust the trajectory, the water and flame. Sensing the field shrinking, the different game code of the short circuit. Remember they never static, debated the distortion defines the way the heart skips a beat. We ride the short circuit through the heavy heat. My awareness is a needle catching every crawl. Ride a pulley, running fast scripture on a digital wall. The pull is absolute, a heavy lo-fi pull. Each crackling syllable makes the vessel full. This erratic energy breaking every rule. Yeah, dissipate in the white glow. Noise remains, lights go slow.
Sweaty loafers kicking dust on the cracked concrete. Crystal liquid hidden, yeah, we dodging all the heat. Velvet on the tongue, but the vision's looking grainy. Pouring out a vintage, why the heavens getting rainy? No flutes, no fakes, just the texture of the fiber. Cruising through the city like I'm in a deep sea diver. I don't need a VIP to feel a heavy baseline. Sipping on a legacy, I'm taking back what's mine. Neon signs flickering, reflecting in the amber. Life is just a gamble, yeah, high stakes scramble. Crinkle of the bag, that's the soundtrack of the road. Style in the shadows, never chasing what's in vogue. Every bubble popping like a secret in the dark. Leaving behind a hip-hop thumbprint, leaving a mark. Prophecy is luxury, the world is way too loud. Disappearing softly in a silver line cloud. Wrapped up tight, keeping the sparkle on the hush. Underground royalty, we never in a rush. Brown paper shield for the liquid lens strike. Doing what we want, yeah, doing what we like. On the blood greatness, moving through the mist. Something that's expensive wasn't meant to be missed. Low key, high key, high key, blending in the gray, savoring the spirit while the others look away. Yeah. Diamonds in a cardboard box, irony is heavy, steady with the hand, yeah, keeping it all ready. Polished bit of brass in a world of rusty nails. Sailing through the district with the wind in my sails. Street lights hum like a synth in the distance. Living out a dream with a stubborn persistence. Tapping on the glass that ain't even really there. Breath smelling like $1,000,000 in the air. Faded denim pockets but the soul is pure silk. Mixing up the honey with the bitter kind of milk. Graffiti on the wall looks like art in this light. Everything is cinematic, everything is right. No flash photography, I'm allergic to fame. Just a nameless silhouette with a fire in the frame. Quietly rebellious, a toast to the grit. If the shoe is tailor-made, then you know what's gonna fit me. So this, I bleed the sparkle on the hood. Shine out the rotten royalty, we never in a rush. Brown paper shield for the liquid light strike. Doing what we want, yeah, doing what we like. On the blood greatness, moving through the mist. Something that's expensive wasn't meant to be missed. Low key, high key, high key, blending in the gray, savoring the spirit while the others look away. Golden rush, hidden in the rough in the plain. Watching all the ego right down the storm drain. Comes things in the disguise in a simple disguise. Truth is staring back through these bloodshot eyes. Elevator stay without the elevator pitch. Scratching at the surface till we finally find the itch. Beyond the velvet rope where the real ones reside. Nowhere left to run, nowhere left to hide. Nowhere left to run, nowhere left to hide. Wrapped up tight, keeping the sparkle on the hush. Underground royalty, we never in a rush. Brown paper shield for the liquid lightning strike. Doing what we want, yeah, doing what we like. On the blood greatness, moving through the mist. Something that's expensive wasn't meant to be missed. Low key, high key, high key, blending in the gray, savoring the spirit while the others look away. Lights drop, lingering, flavor of the night. Hide the evidence for the morning light. Stay anonymous, stay iconic piece. Crystallize the wreckage while the purple dust is settling on the hollow floor. I'm walking through the memories of the lightning that we don't feel anymore. My mental is a sanctuary built inside a world that's gonna walk out the violet in a vision in the silence that I've been waiting for. The sky is bleeding lavender above the twisted metal and the broken stone. I see the ghost of fire dancing in the territory that I claim alone. My hustle is the afterpath, the gems that I have finally sown. Yeah, the static in the air is the only frequency that I've ever known. Echoes of the thunder still vibrating in the cracks of the foundation wall. I'm catching glimpses of the brilliance just for the entire empire had to fall. The pressure turned to jewelry, the rise was just a precursor to the cross. Standing in the center of the ruins, feeling infinitely small and tall. Standing in the center of the ruins, feeling infinitely small and tall. Radiance defines the way the dust is glowing in the dead of the night. absolute, a permanent and heavy. How we string and pull each jagged syllable is making the entire empty vessel feel full. This crystalline energy breaking every common and predictable rule. Yeah, the amethyst vibration is eternally lethally cool. Drift across the fallout while the radioactive luxury begins to freeze. I notice how the empire's weaving through the jagged glass in the winter breeze. My foresight is a gem field to feel the jewels that I can pluck with these. Got the ambition concentrated, highly calibrated, bringing giants to their knees. The rhythm is a hollow shell, a ghostly bell ringing through the purple mist. I see the treasure forming in the rubber, the lightning bolt to kiss. My movements are prestigious, infinitely religious, with a brand new twist. Yeah, the frictionless performance is the only thing that's left upon the list. It's the only thing that's left upon the list. Synchronize the breathing with the rhythm of the city that is turned to glass. I'm watching every shadow of the former glory as the hours start to pass. The weight of the crown is buried deep beneath the ruins and the withered grass. Finding the true value in the silence that the masses never could surpass. Radiance defines the way the dust is glowing in the dead of the night. We ride the shadow waves until the violet sparks begin to lose their might. Yeah. My awareness is a prism catching every fragment of the fading light. Yeah. This undeniable fast scripture written in the debris of the blinding sight. Yeah. The chill is absolute, a permanent and heavy, almost fluid pool. Each jagged syllable is making the entire empty vessel feel full. This crystalline energy breaking every common and predictable rule. Yeah, the amethyst vibration is eternally endlessly cool. Investigate the resonance before the entire universe begins to fade to gray. Unless you hold the gem, you're just another shadow in the ruins of the play. Feel the power displacement rise through every single glass and steel highway. Soon the entire industry will be kneeling to the ghost that didn't stay. Acknowledge the authority, the pure hip-hop sorcery that's leading the way. Always trust the trajectory, that's the law of the hunter and the prey. Sensing the competitive field shrinking as I turn the entire world to clay. Never break the momentum tonight, that's the code of the amethyst place. Radiance to find the way the dust is glowing in the dead of the night. Yeah, we ride the shadow waves until the violet sparks begin to lose their might. Yeah, my awareness is a prism catching every fragment of the fading light. Yeah, this undeniable fast scripture written in the debris of the blinding sight. Yeah, the chill is absolute, a permanent and heavy, every spell pull. Each jagged syllable is making the entire empty vessel feel full. This crystalline energy breaking every common and predictable rule. Yeah, the amethyst vibration is eternally and lethally cool.
While I'm navigating through the concrete maze alone, I'm carving out a legacy in a territory that I finally made my own. My mental orientation is a hip-hop manifestation of a power never shown. Got the gravity to find soul in the heart of obsidian stone. The sidewalk is a throne room where the echoes of the struggle start to fade. I see the shadow stretching, but I'm never catching shade in the plans I made. My hustle is a masterpiece, a long-term lease on the moves that I've displayed. Yeah, the unshakable posture is the only way that is truly paid. Resilience is the vibration humming deep inside the marrow of the bone. I'm ignoring every frequency that isn't tuned to my specific zone. The crown is invisible, but the weight is something I carry all on my own. Walking like a giant through a world of people turn to stone. Fortify the spirit while the pavement starts to ripple under every stride. We ride the inner current while the rest of them are searching for a place to hide. Yeah. My awareness is a compass, a self-governed promise with the universe inside. This undeniable scripture, the panoramic picture where the gods and kings reside. The pull is absolute, a permanent and heavy gaze in the grace. Deliberate syllable is making the entire vessel in the space. This independent energy breaking every common and predictable case. Yeah, the sovereign vibrations eternally in leader pace. Yeah, the sovereign vibrations eternally in leader pace. Stimulate the vision while the common denominator starts to lose the track. I'm moving with a sequence that'll never let a single kind of weakness back. My foresight is a diamond cut, a golden gut, keeping every system on the stack. Got the ambition concentrating, highly calibrated for the ultimate attack. The rhythm is pulsating, dominating, captain fading like a wolf upon a prowl. I see the fake ones shaking, my late tie foundation starts to ground. My movements are prestigious, infinite religious underneath the velvet cowl. Yeah, the frictionless performance is a global enormous, throwing in the towel. Examine the footprint left behind in the dust of the everyday grind. I'm weaving through the focus, stand a sovereign mind. The path is solitary, but the treasures are the only things I'm here to find. Leaving all the limitations, any expectations far behind. Fortify the spirit while the pavement starts to ripple under every stride. We ride the inner current while the rest of them are searching for a place to hide. Yeah, my awareness is a compass, a self-governed promise with the universe inside. It's undeniable, still keep the panoramic picture where the gods and kings reside. The pull is absolute or permanent in every case, ain't no grace. Deliberate syllable is making the entire vessel in the space. This independent energy breaking every common and predictable case. Yeah, the sovereign vibration eternally leads the place. Yeah, the sovereign vibration eternally leads the place. Monitor the heartbeat before the entire architecture starts to bend its way. Unless you on your movement, you're just another shadow in the light of day. Feel the powerful displacement rise through every single glass and steel highway. Soon the entire industry will be kneeling to the one who didn't come to play. Acknowledge the authority, acknowledging the soul that's found a better way. Always trust the trajectory, that's the law, the hunter and the prey. Sensing the competitive field, shrinking as I turn the entire world to gray. Never break the momentum tonight, that's the code of the sovereign display. Fortify the spirit while the pavement starts to ripple under every stride. We ride the inner current while the rest of them are searching for a place to hide. Yeah. My awareness is a compass, a self-governed promise with the universe inside. I whip us through the panoramic picture where the gods and kings reside. The pull is absolute, or permanent, and heavy cash and no grace. Elaborate syllable is making the entire vessel in the space. This independent energy breaking every common and predictable case. Yeah, the sovereign vibrations eternally lead the pace. Yeah, the sovereign vibrations eternally lead the pace. Yeah, the sovereign vibrations eternally lead the pace. Submerge into the distance now. Let's travel lanes while the city sleeps. Hear the final echo of the step. Path clear.
Constructing a kingdom out of the brick and the mortar. Mapping out the madness, the ghost getting shorter. Tracing every crack like a sacred geometry. Rewriting the prophecy, a hip-hop monopoly. Steam from the vents like a dragon's cold breath. Flirting with the edge of a spiritual death. Fire escapes of the stairways to the heaven. Dodging the sevens, keeping it leveled. Ay, calculating shadows on the dark brickwork. Making every click work where the sick lurk. Surgeon of the back streets, heart on the concrete. Drafting a vision where the lead never retreat. Nothing is accidental, everything is mental. Transcendental, even if the world is a rental. Infrastructure built on a new reality. Crushing the fakes with the raw finality. Invisible lines holding the world tonight. Hidden from the glare of the blinding light. Mastering the corners where the echoes come to die. Building up a cathedral beneath the charcoal sky. Symmetry and chaos and the rust is still. Making the imaginary feel way too real. Drafting the future on appealing pain. Vision of a sinner and the patience of a saint. Visions of a saint. Pacing through the labyrinth, titanium cranium glowing in the dark like a piece of uranium. Rearranging debris to create a new sculpture. Ignoring the noise of the hollow pop culture. I see the soul in the rusty old pipes. Ignoring the hype and the digital stripes. Concrete pages of the journal eternal. Burning the oil in the midnight inferno. Graffiti tags of the signature of power. Blooming like a flower in the final hour. Navigator of the narrow, sharp as an arrow. Piercing the bone in the deepest marrow. Redesigning the wind where the wreckage is pinned. Finding the beauty where the light is thin. Permit not required to renovate the vibe. Urban scribe for the rest of the tribe. Invisible lines holding the wall tonight. Hidden from the glare of the blinding light. Mastering the corners where the echoes come to die. Building up a cathedral beneath the charcoal sky. Symmetry and chaos and the rusted steel. Making the imaginary feel way too real. Drafting the future on the peeling paint. Vision of a sinner and the patience of the dimensions are shifting when I close my eyes. Skeleton found under the clever disguise. Scraping the truth with a jagged old blade. Living in the blueprints that the ancestors made. Rubble is just a foundation for more. Checking the lock on the reinforced door. Distance between the dream and the dirt. Keeping the balance before the ego gets hurt. Invisible lines holding the world tonight. Hidden from the glare of the blinding light. Mastering the corners where the echoes come to die. Building up a cathedral beneath the charcoal sky. Symmetry and chaos and the rusted steel. Making the imaginary feel way too real. Drafting the future on the peeling paint. Vision of a sinner and the patience of a saint.
Yeah. Reflecting the neon in the polished exterior, feeling superior, never inferior to the interior. Calculating friction of a hollow eviction, mercury rising in the digital rate of addiction. Chrome-plated engine in a state of suspension, avoiding the tension of a human dimension. Polish my ego until it became a weapon, ignoring the lesson of every spiritual intervention. While in by pressure of a carbonized history, solving the mystery of the misery in the machinery. Subterranean frequencies rattling the skeleton, turning the melanin into gelatin in the scenery. Surgical precision in the silent demolition, carrying the mission with a hip-hop ambition. Everything is binary, 0 or 1, until the damage is finished and the battle is won.
Someone tears dripping on a gold press floor, closing every window and locking every door. Absolute 0 in the center of the chest, putting all the loyalty, love to the test. Crystalline structures beginning to decay. In a world of light, welcome to the end, big a beautiful night. Yeah. Glitching in the matrix with a metallic, making the heart of the enemy flatter and martyr. I'm sitting in memory, starting to leak through the beak of a physique that was never supposed to be peak. High octane hazard in a custom-made frame, playing the game without a name but a shame. Calculated trajectory of a flawless star, pushing the bar till we break the car. Mercury poison in the well in the intuition. Dark side commission for a spiritual transition. Dust Rio echoes in the cathedral to rust. Training the trust, feel the dust and the lust. Pacing on the edge of a jagged reality, crushing finality with the raw finality. Infrastructure failing from the inside out, removing the dial with the plentiful shout. Civil tears dripping on the gold price floor, closing every window and locking every door. Absolute 0 in the center of the chest, putting all the loyalty and love to the vest. Crystalline structures beginning to decay, watching all the evidence melt away. Shattered geometry in a world of light. Welcome to the end, this beautiful night. Underneath the surface where the wires on weed, breaking is the only way to finally breathe. Pressure was the thing that kept the shape intact, facing up to that we cold and bitter fact. Treading on the blast with a soul refined, leaving all the luxury and vanity behind. Gravity of dragging new remains to the ground, waiting for the silence could be the only sound. Silver tears dripping on a cold press floor, closing every window and locking every door. Absolute 0 in the center of their chest, putting all the loyalty and love to the test. Crystalline structure beginning to decay, watching all the arrogance melt away. Shining geometry in a world of light. Welcome to the end, beautiful night. Core is exposed, the surface is gone. Logic was flawless, but the circuit is not. Stay cold, this bit. Yeah. Conceptualize the gray before the morning mist begins to fade. I'm sketching out a vision in the center of the colonnade. My canvas is the concrete, heat rising from the deep ground. Watching how the city vibe turns into a steep sound. Raw in the gutter, turning grit into a step thread. Moving through the shadows where the local legends have bled. Got the tactical precision, every splash is a decision made. Carving out a masterpiece with a rusty razor blade. Industrial aesthetic, call it gritty and poetic. True lining up the spectrum from the indigo to let you blue. Street level genius, never let the basics intervene. I'm the architect of movements that the world has never seen. Palette knife, hustle, every muscle is a tool at hand. Writing secret alphabets across the dusty borderland. Heavyweight delivery, making all the rivals shiver fast. Building up a gallery that was always built to last. Yeah.
Resilience defines the way the ink is hitting on a stone. We ride the friction in the territory, strictly on our own. My awareness is a prism catching every single tone. Yeah, this undeniable fast scripture written on a jagged throne. The surge is absolute, a permanent, a heavy cultural pull. Each high gloss syllable is making the entire vessel full. This structural energy breaking every common rule. Yeah, the asphalt vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Orchestrate the chaos while the traffic lights begin to blink. I'm pouring out the liquid gold and watching every drop sink. My foresight is a blueprint, golden tint on the barricade. Living in the highlight of the plans that the hip-hop made. But spoke graffiti spirit that they feel it, then you know the price. Rolling through the labyrinth and never had to throw the dice. Movements are prestigious, something like a religious act. Sticking to the prophecy and keeping every bone intact. Steam rising from the bed, sense of ozone in the tar. I could see the finish line from the backseat of the car. Brains of the obsidian, the radiant is sharp and clean. Polishing the surface of the wreckage in the dark machine. Attention to the texture, every fracture is historic toll. Turning all the copper wire junk into the solid gold. Premium emission definition of a masterclass. Watching all the ordinary people in the mirror glass. Resist the files away, the ink is sinking on the stone. You ride the friction in the territory, strictly on our own. My awareness is a person catching every single tone. Yeah, it's undeniable fast scripture written on a jagged prone. The surge is absolute, a permanent and heavy comfortable pull. Each high syllable is making the entire vessel full. This structural energy breaking every common rule. Yeah, the asphalt vibration that is occurring to me. And Nathan the cool. Analyze the resonance, the alchemy of the midnight oil. Unless you hold the pigment, you're just standing on the barren soil. Feel the disgracement in the atmosphere, the heat and coil. Soon your entire industry will watch the inner spirit boil. Acknowledge the authority, the soul inside the heavy frame. Always trust the trajectory, the fire and the frozen flame. Sensing the field shrinking, playing for a different game. That's the code of the Atelier. Remember every single name. Possess the files away, the ego shaking on the stone. We got the friction in the territory, strictly on our own. My awareness is a prison catching every single tone. Yeah, it's undeniable fast scripture written on a jagged prone. The surge is absolute, a permanent in every cultural pull. Each high gloss syllable is making the entire vessel full. This structural energy breaking every common rule. Yeah, the asphalt vibration is eternally and lethally cool. Evaporated the fume in the slow. The masterpiece is finished while the city folk. Whoa, we can put the wait for the rain to finally dry. I lay your remains.
Weathered surfaces are speaking in a dialect of oil and grime. I'm reading every crack like a map through the layers of the time. My mental is a vintage vault locked away and aging like a wine. Got the rustic composition and the shadows in a straight line. Oxidized ambition turning copper into a shade of faded green. Moving through the corridors where the ghosts of the era been seen. Every scuff on the curb is a chapter of a heavy duty scene. I'm the curator of the texture, keeping the legacy clean. Lived in aesthetics, call it rugged and strangely divine. Lining up the memories like the stars in a cosmic design. Street worn wisdom, never let the polish hide the truth beneath. I'm the blade in the velvet, the fire in the iron sheet. Lay it up history, every stain is a story that was earned. Watching how the cold concrete into a masterpiece turn. Bronze like hustle, feeling the friction and the heat. Building up a monument in the middle of the lonely street. Integrity defines the way the surface begins to shine. We ride the pressure until the entire history is mine. My awareness is a lens, catching every single weather line. It's undeniable, slow scripture older than a mountain pine. The pull is absolute, a permanent and heavy vintage pull. Each smoke syllable is making the entire vessel full. The season energy, breaking every common rule. Yeah, the patina vibrations eternally and lethally cool. Saturate the spirit while the sunset turns the gray into a rust. I'm breathing in the essence of the iron in the city dust. My foresight is a relic, golden thread in the middle of the trust. Living the silence of the echoes at the hip-hop thrust stage. Indigo soul, if you feel it then you know the way. Rolling through the blocks where the shadows keep a steady state. Movements are prestigious like an antique bronze statue. Sticking to the roots while I'm giving you a different view. Steam rising from the vents, sense of leather in the rain. I can feel the pulse of the street running through the primary vein. Shades of the sepia, the meridian is heavy and deep. Polishing the surface of the promises that I finally keep. Attention to the grain of a soul on fire, watching all the plastic fools drown in the muck and the mire. Integrity defines the way the surface begins to shine. We ride the pressure until the entire history is mine. My awareness is a lens, catching every single weather line. It's undeniable, so scripture older than a mountain pine. The pull is absolute, a permanent and heavy. Vintage pulley smoke, its syllable is making the entire vessel for the season. Energy, breaking every common rule. Yeah, the patina vibrations eternally and lethally cool. Yeah, is eternally and lethally cool. Calibrate the resonance, the wisdom of the ancient stone. Unless you feel the weight, you're just a visitor in the zone. Feel the displacement in the atmosphere, the echo and the bone. Soon the entire industry will leave the shallow throne. Acknowledge the authority, the soul inside the faded frame. Always trust the trajectory, the water and the quiet flame. Sense in the field, shrinking, playing for a timeless game. That's the code of the patina, remember every single name. Integrity defines the way the surface begins to shine. We ride the pressure until the entire history is mine. My awareness is a lens, catching every single weather line. It's undeniable, slow scripture older than a mountain pine. The pull is absolute, a permanent and heavy. Vintage pulley smoker syllable is making the entire vessel for the seasoned energy, breaking every common rule. Yeah, the patina vibrations eternally and lethally cool. Yeah, it's eternally and lethally cool. Dissipate into the amber and